بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. I welcome you all to the Athan Workshop that we will have today inshallah. And before I start, let me give a brief outline of the program. First of all, Qari Imran Khan will give a brief introduction of why we should learn this Adhan, and then I will give a lecture on the message of Adhan, followed by a detailed introduction and practice session for Adhan that will be conducted by Qari Imran Khan. As a brief introduction of Qari Imran Khan, I would like to say that Qari Imran Khan grew up in Saudi Arabia in Jeddah, but then after his high school he went to Canada in Halifax, where Sheikh Jamal Badawi lives, and he had the opportunity, I would say a golden opportunity, to work with that Sheikh for many years, and there he also completed his Bachelor of Technology, and after that he has been working in da'wah work, mostly giving lectures in many cities and even in USA. As far as his learning of Tajweed, the teaching of Tajweed is concerned, he had the honor of working with Sheikh Sayyid Jibreel, who is the elder brother of Sheikh Muhammad Jibreel, a very famous Egyptian reciter in Santa Clara Masjid in Darul Quran program in California for almost 2 years. And also he met and learned from Sheikh Ali Jaber, Imam of Makkah also, and many other shuyukh. He has love of learning and reciting Quran, so you can see a long list of reciters that he had met and learned from them. He has, as you know, he has given a lot of lectures on different topics, especially among youth, and there's no time to cover that. And he has also produced CDs for learning Tajweed and other topics also. I will invite Qari Imran Khan first of all to give introduction to this workshop.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الأمين بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الغمة فجزاه الله خير ما جاز به نبيا عن أمته. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد, جزاكم الله خيرا. Respected Dr. Abdul Aziz Abdul Rahim, respected brothers, respected elders, and my dear youth, I greet you with the greeting of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. It is indeed an honor and pleasure for me to begin this evening's program with a brief introduction to our Adhan workshop. Inshallah, for the next 15 minutes, I'll highlight some of the objectives, some of the features of learning Adhan. There are three main objectives for this workshop. Number one, to introduce the importance of Adhan. Number two is to explain the meanings and implications of the words of Adhan, and to teach how to deliver it properly and beautifully. We come to the next topic, which is, what is Adhan? Adhan means invitation, to invite people towards worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it has two main aspects to it. Number one is invitation from a creator, and then the creator is inviting a man towards his worship. What happens with Adhan? The door of ibadah, the door of worship, is opened up for every Muslim. What is the main thing that happens as soon as the adhan is called? After the adhan, the person feels inclination to go to the masjid. Once he goes to the masjid, he performs his salah, his prayer, and then by performing the salah and all the acts of ibadah, all the acts of worship, he is fulfilling the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala known as huququllah. And at the same time, after the salah or when the salah is finished, every Muslim gets an opportunity to make salam, to greet each other and build a network of Muslims, to find out the relations, to find out the situations of each other, whether they are happy occasions or sad occasions. And this is how you build and come to the level of huququl ibad. And you have mercy for people who have lots and lots of bounties, and then you make dua for them. At the same time, you make dua for any people who might have some kind of difficulty in their lives. And if you imagine a situation where you are happy and you feel that you want to share this happiness with someone else, and this is one of the methods that you can do. The second thing that can happen is, if, for example, you're feeling sad, when you go to the masjid, first of all, the spiritual aspect of a masjid itself will uplift the pain and the sadness from your heart. And the second thing that will happen to you is you meet people and they'll ask you how you're doing, and then you can narrate to them. And once you narrate to them, it is very easy for a person to share his burden with others. Let us go back to history, how and when adhan was evolved. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam makes hijrah, migrates to Medina al-Munawwara, and he builds a masjid. He was very concerned how to invite people towards salah, towards prayer. There are different proposals that came to him. Many people came with different ideas. Some of them were in conjunction with the ideology of the Jews and Christians, which he did not like, and he mentioned the fact that those are their methods. Finally, there was a Sahabi by the name of Abdullah bin Zayd radiallahu anh. He was very concerned sitting among that majlis, and he gets up looking very concerned and being very thoughtful of that situation, and he leaves for his home. And on that particular night, he dreams something about adhan, and then he comes to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he narrates his dream to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam likes the idea very much, and he told Bilal radiallahu anh that go and make adhan. He orders Abdullah bin Zayd to go and tell Bilal exactly what he told, and then Abdullah bin Zayd radiallahu anh goes and asks Bilal radiallahu anh. And Bilal radiallahu anh was from a different ethnic origin from the people of Arabia. And this is to show that inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. The best amongst you is the one who has taqwa, who has got consciousness in you. And then he had a melodious voice. That is the reason why Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam chose Bilal radiallahu anh. After the first adhan was called, henceforth it started to spread to all parts of the Muslim world. And now there are 5 different adhan right at this moment happening in 5 different zones. And if you try to imagine, if you start all the way from Southeast Asia, from China, Japan, Malaysia, Indonesia, India, and then you come towards Arabia, and then you keep going all the way towards the west, every single second there is an adhan being called, whether it is Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib or Isha. And this is the greatest takbir of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that is being happening 24 hours every single second. We come to the next aspect. Why should adhan be beautiful? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made our ears a source of either attraction or repulsion of what we hear. We love to hear something relaxing and beautiful tones. This is the law that Allah has created us with. If there is a displeasing sound that is heard in our ear, we will suddenly try to avoid listening to it, or if we have to listen to it, whether we like it or not, it will not go beyond our ears. The reason behind Adhan, as has been stated earlier, is to invite the Muslims towards worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If the Adhan is beautiful, the person who rarely goes to the masjid will try to run towards it, seeking the beauty of Adhan, thereby getting an opportunity to get closer to other acts of ibadah, insha'Allah. We come to the rules of a mu'adhin, which are very important. The first point is, it is preferable to have wudu, but it is not compulsory. You have to face towards the qibla, meaning towards the Kaaba. You have to turn your face towards the right while you're saying Hayya ala salah, and on your left side when you are saying Hayya ala falah. You have to say all the words at slow intervals to give the proper meaning and the message of the Adhan, not make the Adhan very quickly so that you can get it over with. You have to go very slowly. To say it with loud voice, even if you are alone. If there are only 2 or 3 people, you're not going to make an Adhan very quietly. You have to make it in a nice loud voice. Not so loud that people are going to be disturbed or you're going to hurt your throat. Audible enough for at least 10-15 people to hear. It should sound as if it is an Adhan. Inshallah, we'll understand that feature once we come to the practical session. What are the consequences, the result of an improper Adhan? What consequences does an improper Adhan have on a Muslim? This is a very important aspect that we need to reflect upon. It sends out wrong messages to the Muslim, making him feel uncomfortable and embarrassing while he is in the company of his non-Muslim friends, or even sometimes if he is in the company of people who are away from the Islam, from the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They feel all uncomfortable and very disturbed. But if the Adhan is very beautiful, we'll look at that in a moment. It doesn't create a spiritual motivation to come and pray. It does not create a sense of guilt if he does not want to come to the masjid. Creates an awkward, backward impression in the mind of the modern, educated Muslim youth. It takes them away from Islam. The next reflecting point that we need to ponder upon is why there is no enthusiasm among the educated youth. There are numerous reasons for that, and let us take a close look at some of those. There are no role models for giving Adhan. How many of us have seen doctors, engineers, surgeons, or any other professional giving Adhan? It's very hard for us to find that. And if there are no examples and role models, children, youth, and young adults will try to follow someone else's footsteps. What is the reason why fashion is so popular? What is the reason why there are different types of styles so popular? Because there are different figures and icons that keep appearing on the multimedia as the TV, internet, radio, or the newspapers and magazines. But at the same time, if you open a magazine about Islam or an article about Islam, and then you see that there are many people who are participating in this, people will feel motivated, especially the youth. Homework for everyone. All of us should give Adhan in our masajid back home, from wherever we are, here in offices and everywhere. And believe me, you can inspire many people. Do not wait for an opportunity, ask for it. In fact, I say you have to beg for it, literally. Spread workshops of Adhan such as these. And now we have divided a category of benefits for the Muslims and also for the non-Muslims. There are numerous benefits for Muslims. Number one, the person is enthusiastic to go to the masjid. Subhanallah, mashallah. What is this new Adhan? Who's making the Adhan? You feel curious. The next thing is your Iman level is increased to a very high level. How? There are different kinds of chemicals in your body when you feel something nice, when you hear something good. The youth and the modern generation find satisfaction in adhan and they stay away from music, and that is an excellent alternative for many of them. Great inspiration to listen to the adhan from beginning to the end, thereby making them come to the masjid early enough to catch the start. Something to keep humming and hymning during other times and keep getting reward at the same time for praising the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All of us study to get excellent education that will get us excellent job, insha'Allah. We spend hours, days, weeks, months, and even years to decorate our life by gaining excellent education. Everything in life has importance. We invest time and effort to decorate it and make it better and beautiful. Why not then adhan? Excellent adhan penetrates the hearts by which Muslim can have more interest in their prayers, insha'Allah. One of the best characteristics of a mu'min is that their hearts are attached to the masjid. The next slide talks about the benefits of adhan for non-Muslims. Number one, an excellent source of da'wah for them. First impression about Islam and Muslims. First impression is always the best impression. Just imagine if a very beautiful adhan is heard, they'll not just appreciate it, but slowly feel inclined towards it. Removes misconception about Muslims, if any, in the mind and attracts them to Islam. Open and automatic da'wah to all. The feedback that we have got from the Muslims and non-Muslims reminds you of Mecca and Medina. Sometimes it brings back golden memories and brings tears to the eyes of people who have visited the Haramain. It has touched many people's hearts across the world, alhamdulillah. Who does not want to respond to this beautiful invitation? People have come closer to Islam by beautiful adhan. The feedback from non-Muslims, these are all in quotation. Beautiful call to prayer. A very lovely way to invite Muslims to their church. Your call to prayer brings in extra energy. What is the name of the band? How many members are in there? Only one person? Wow! Truly inspiring voice. God-gifted talent. You have touched me with the call to prayer of Islam. This was a comment that was, given by a manager who conducts functions of approximately 15,000 capacity people. And this place is in Toronto, Canada. The name of the park is called Wonderland, where there are all kinds of roller coasters, water parks, and so many other kinds of things, bumper boats, and so many things. So on one particular day, all the Muslims, they rent this park out for having celebration of Muslim Day. And there was the adhan called, and alhamdulillah, it was a very good thing. So I will end here, inshallah, and pass over the microphone to discuss about the aspect of implications and the message of adhan.